Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to episode number 11, 1 of Keeping It on the DL. My name's Dave, his name's Lambert. Welcome to the show right here on YouTube, on Spotify, and on Apple Podcasts, wherever you guys get your podcast from. Um, Episode number 11. Been a little bit of a pause for the past 2 weeks, which is fully on me. I will take full blame for that because just tired and lazy.
What the heck, bro?
Yeah, I know.
The
Um,
heck,
I mean,
dog?
I had every intention of doing it last week. I just literally fell asleep for 6 hours. Uh, so
Okay.
I kind of just I kind of chalked it on the day we were going to do it. But folks, we got some exciting news to share. For those of you that watch regularly and keep up with everything, you may notice something new, especially if you're watching here on YouTube. Um, the channel has its first ever sponsor. That's right, W Energy.
Yeah.
Let's go. Yeah, get the whole like what's that siren noise going. Um, channel has its first ever sponsor, W Energy. Um, a wonderful, wonderful product. Shout out to them for sponsoring the channel. Um, W Energy offers a whole variety of energy, powder, I guess, if that's really what you want to call it. But a whole variety of different flavors and products and to choose from. Some with caffeine, others without caffeine. For those who are trying to, not get addicted to caffeine, like me. Uh, W Energy, all in all, great price, great flavors. I've tried it personally. My favorite one is the strawberry. I'm blanking on. I think it's like strawberry banana flavor, if I'm not mistaken. Um,
Sounds good.
yeah, really, really good. Um, and really just solid altogether. They have some decent like non-caffeine options as well. That still gives you all the really good vitamins, all the really good stuff to put in your system. So be sure to check them out. Just go to w.gg to check them out. There's a link in the description down below to help support the channel, and be sure to use code KDL as you see on the screen to get 10% off anything you purchase from them. So shout out to W again for sponsoring the channel. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Um,
you.
but folks, we got a big show for you today. Um, if you haven't seen or listened to this podcast, we talk about some gaming stuff. We talk about some entertainment stuff going on in the world. Then we kind of transition over into some football. It's just two guys hanging out, having a good time. So, sit back, relax, kick it with us, and yeah, let's get things started.
Dude, you know one of the best time savers in the world?
What's that?
Uh, like, you have to like brush your teeth in the morning, or like most
Yeah,
people do that.
no, I would hope.
You also have to piss or shit generally. So you brush your teeth while you piss or shit.
See, can't do that.
Why not?
Can't do it. Here's why. Well, okay, when taking a piss, yes, I can do it then. When shitting, no, because a
Why
lot of
not?
times, like you're sitting there, you're brushing your teeth, right, and like if you're like me, to where sometimes when you eat stuff at night before bed, or like which you shouldn't do, but I do it anyways. Or like if you eat something like a Taco Bell, or like me being lactose intolerant, eating pizza, those shits the next day, man, they kind of smelly. So like you get that aroma just kind of swirling around in that room while you're doing your thing, and like your mouth might be a little open, so you kind of get a taste of it, and no, can't do it, can't do it.
I've never once experienced that.
Never,
Unless
you've never had that happen.
I've never tasted the smell of my shit.
I also can't like if I'm chewing gum, I can't go to the bathroom with a piece of gum in my mouth.
Bro, I've
Like I have to get rid of the gum.
man, that's so weird, man.
Yeah, that's it's actually not that weird. It's a common thing. At least the gum thing. I don't
I've
know about the
sat
other one, but
down. I've enjoyed a full cup of coffee while taking a dump.
yeah, I can't do that. Can't do that. No food or drink in the bathroom. Can't do it. I mean, that's a lot. I have cracked open a beer after a shower. I have done that.
I once actually ate a meal while in the shower.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I've never done that one.
And I put it
That's
on the floor
that's
right
something.
outside the shower. I would do whatever, and then, like I'd wash my body, and after I rinsed, I'd take a bite, wash my hair, finish, take a bite. You know,
Yeah, I've never done that one. That's interesting. That's something.
these are all time saving strats.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess
Instead
so.
of like, because then you take a shower for fucking 15 minutes, and then you go eat for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Right? Instead, you just do a 15-minute shower and you eat at the same time. Bang bang. Instead of spending 30 minutes doing something, you spend 15.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I guess that's true. Yeah, wow. All right. Hey, learn something new every day.
Yep.
Learn something new every day.
That advice is free, by the way.
Yeah,
You're
true.
welcome.
True. Be sure to, to share that with your friends and family. Um all right. So, in the gaming world, recently it was announced that the Olympics is adding a esports Olympics. Um so I can't wait to see you on the main stage. Mr. Lambert, me and you headlining Team USA.
Yep.
Uh,
Playing.
in in every single sport that they offer.
Yeah, we've been practicing a lot for
Hmm.
the taekwondo, personally.
Yep, that one especially. That one especially.
What
Um,
what game is even that taekwondo?
so yeah, so for those that don't know, right? So it's a series of different of sports, virtual sports that they're offering in different games. So you have archery, baseball, chess, cycling, dance, motorsport, sailing, taekwondo, tennis, and that's it. Tennis. The taekwondo, the game is virtual taekwondo.
Oh, that's an actual full blown game.
It's an actual game.
Okay.
Um, yeah. Um, it's yeah, it's interesting. Like the dance is just dance. The motorsport is Gran Turismo.
Oh yeah,
Which
yeah.
yes, solid choice there. Archery is tic tac bow. Um, which
What now?
I've never heard of that one. Um, uh, yeah, it's an interesting concept. My question is, it seems cool, right? It seems cool when it happens because it actually happens like later this year.
Yeah.
Um, so when it happens, I'll probably check it out.
Hmm.
But do you think that there should be like an FPS in there,
I think CS:GO should be in there.
right? Like a CS:GO or like something along those lines, right? Like a CS:GO, Valorant.
And yeah, something highly competitive.
Yeah, right. Like, because like you talk about like esports. I mean that's the pinnacle of it. It is the FPS genre. Like that's what's most viewed. That's what's most watched. That's what's most talked about.
I guess the problem is because don't certain countries have like FPS shit banned?
Now that's that. I think that's going to be the issue with that. Is exactly that. Is the fact that um there is certain countries have restrictions on stuff like that, and on top of that, um you also have to, I guess, kind of consider you're in a way you're kind of promoting violence by showcasing it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is rated M, I
right.
guess, right?
So I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense. Um,
It definitely should be though. Like, how hype would like a Team USA
dude,
made of like you get players from all the best pro teams, like a mix of them, and
brother,
against like Team fucking Japan in CS:GO, that'd be
that'd be
so lit.
so cool. Be so cool. I would love that. I would love that. Yeah.
I mean,
Um.
NA would get slammed on, but it is what it
Uh
is.
huh. Without question. Although I mean, well, maybe. Maybe. I don't know. Most in the North American region, I mean, most of the better CS players, they're Canadian. So, I mean, I guess US would potentially get slammed on.
Mhm.
I was thinking, like, I'm thinking back to like Katowice, when that happened. Um, FaZe ended up winning it all, but I mean, it's mostly Canadians that were on that team, so
Yeah, that's true.
I guess that's
Yeah.
kind of fair. But yeah, like I almost feel like it's just it's kind of missing out there. Like I think it's like just missing the mark. It's a cool concept though. Like I think it's really neat.
It's
It'll
a
be
good start.
yeah, right. Like I think it'll be really interesting to see it. I'm very happy for like this is a major W for the world of gaming as a whole. Like
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
to kind of promote it even more and even promote just esports as a whole even more and just try to bring it to an even larger stage. I think that's incredible.
I
Um,
mean, gaming and esports has become so mainstream at this point
it
that
really has.
it just makes sense to do it.
Yeah.
Like
No,
everybody
100%.
games. Everybody games at this
Yep.
point, you know.
Yep.
It's no longer like only fucking teenage men are gaming. Like the
Right.
everyone's doing it.
Yep. No, absolutely. Absolutely. Um, but I mean, where's the Mario Kart though? Right? Like
Not true. Yeah, they definitely should have done that.
right? Like where's Mario Kart? Where's like speed running like Crash Bandicoot? Where's like
Yeah, Minecraft
where's
speedruns.
where's my friend Peppa Pig? You know what I mean? Like where's the
True.
real games here?
The games that we're actually looking forward
Yeah.
to.
Where's the hobo game? I already forget the name of it.
Hobo,
What is it?
fastest way to Hobo King.
Fastest way to hobo king.
Come on, man,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
absolutely missing out on this shit.
Missing out, man. Missing out. But no, all in all, man, really, really cool concept. That yeah, I dig. I dig. I'm excited to see where it goes.
Mhm.
Excited to see where it goes. But um, Call of Duty, all right, new season dropped just a couple weeks ago.
Did it?
Um, yeah, it did. It did. I don't know if you heard.
Nope,
Oh,
never heard of it.
no. Which all in all is getting very positive reviews as a whole. And I mean, truthfully, I said at the end of or well, not at the end, but during the first season, I said I wasn't going to buy the next battle pass or really any of them for the rest of this game, and then here we are. I bought it, but
Why would you do that?
I bought it because I've been playing it so much and because I'm actually enjoying it. Um, ranked play has been as a whole. I think ranked play is a lot of fun. There are some little things here and there that I do think I wish could be tweaked. They won't be tweaked, but it is what it is. Between stuff like spawns and you know, even maps. Like I wish they just maybe changed like swapped out just a map or two. That'd be kind of cool.
The
Um
biggest problem is definitely the spawns, for sure.
yeah, I mean that's the like it sucks that S&D is probably their best their best mode and it's like the least played.
Yep, for sure.
Um but uh but as a whole, again, I think it's been a lot of fun. So that was why I bought it. But the latest news from the Call of Duty space though um is about there's an ongoing uh case between the United States FTC and SEC, as well as I think it's happening in Europe as well. I think it's where it originated. Um,
Yeah, I think they're the ones that were trying to stop it.
yeah, of the acquisition of Microsoft buying uh, Activision Blizzard and uh, the latest things that have come out today, just a few hours ago, um, is that a United States judge ruled that Sony has to provide documents to Microsoft revealing the exclusivity contracts from back in 2019 that they made with Activision, um, and onwards, as a part of this investigation. Meaning that we'll actually finally get to know the full details of, uh, what the exclusivity contract is between Sony and Activision for Call of Duty.
Oh
Um,
damn!
yeah, which is pretty interesting. Um,
Right, a butt ton of money.
uh, Sony, or I'm sorry, Microsoft did motion to have or to get information on Sony's executive team,
Hmm.
which the FTC judge did deny that motion. Um, and that the FTC judge also is potentially ruling currently that uh, the information that Sony provides will be kept redacted as a whole, so we may not actually get to see a lot of it,
Hmm.
but we'll see. We'll definitely see some, and then I'm sure some of it will come out. But that could also change. So who knows? Um, one of the other big things that dropped today as well, is that uh, Activision's latest SEC filing, uh, has revealed a couple things. One, if the deal between Microsoft and Activision is blocked, um, Microsoft will have to pay Activision a fee of anywhere between 2.8 billion to $3 billion.
Wait, Microsoft
Um,
have to pay Activision that?
yeah,
Jesus.
yeah, they will have to pay that fee because you're breaking the contract essentially. You're breaking the deal
Yeah.
because of the whole idea of it being a monopoly and stuff like that. Um, there's also a report saying that sources have said that Call of Duty licensing deals, the Call of Duty licensing deals Microsoft has offered, as a whole between Activision and Sony and stuff like that, um, will very likely satisfy all the European regulators,
Hmm.
but maybe not necessarily here in the US. But ultimately, if it does satisfy them, then obviously EU is not going to really ask them to sell off any part of Activision Blizzard at all, and they're everything will be okay in
Yeah.
their book. But another thing that was shared that really kind of interests me the most about all this, so a part of the SEC filing, um, was that it revealed uh, in 2022, so just last year, that PlayStation accounted for 13% of the company's revenue.
Of PlayStation accounted that much for Sony.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like no, for Activision.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so for Activision's revenue, PlayStation accounted for 13% of it.
Gotcha.
Um, Microsoft's numbers were too low to even be reported.
Holy shit, okay.
Yeah. So for 2022 as a whole, Apple was actually number one. Um, Google being number two, and then Sony being three with the 13%.
Huh.
Yeah. Which is really really interesting. Um, and I guess it just kind of goes to show. I mean, I'm not surprised by that. Because like even if you just think in the Call of Duty world, and just the Call of Duty space as a whole, with with MW2, they're adding all these exclusive like camos and bundles just for PlayStation. Um,
Oh yeah, well, PlayStation. I mean, Call of Duty's been PlayStation like oriented for years now.
yeah, yeah, um, yeah, and it's again it's deals that like we as PC players we don't even get to see them.
Yep.
So um, but I find that to be very interesting because obviously the original announcement of the acquisition, I mean that was early 2022, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Right. So I mean hell, it might even been 2021 at this point. I honestly don't remember, but um, yeah, like what I find the most interesting about that is the fact that is just the fact that you would think that a lot of people would have already kind of started getting nervous at that time, thinking that because there was the talks of COD becoming a Microsoft exclusive.
Hmm.
So you would think, especially as the consoles were becoming more and more available, you would think a lot of people probably would have been jumping ship to Xbox to play COD and stuff like that, and um, yet here we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we are. Um, it's all really interesting. It's all going to be it'll be very interesting to see how it continues and unfolds. And um, do you think the deal still goes through?
Um, it's really tough to say, honestly. I mean, probably. Um, but I don't know. I think it's 50-50, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. It really is such a toss up. Um, yeah, yeah, it's actually it's kind of wild, man. It's kind of wild. Um, I don't think the deal should go through. I do think
I
that
don't think it should go through either. No,
yeah, I do think that
they'd be right to block it for sure.
yeah, I do think that Microsoft would kind of just have too much of the gaming space at that point.
Yep.
Um,
They're just buying up companies left and right. It's crazy.
yeah, yeah. So we'll see. Although, I mean, at least with Microsoft, unlike some other publishers in the gaming world, I mean, at least they care about their devs.
Early they do.
So I mean, they show it. You know what I mean? Like they allow them to kind of do their thing for for the most part. Unlike like EA for example.
I think I brought didn't 343 come out though and say that it was Microsoft's fault that like nothing's getting done with Infinite?
Um, did they say that? I honestly don't know.
I think
That's
very
that.
recently they came out and said that.
That's how little I give a shit about Infinite right now.
I mean
It's
the game's dead, bro.
yeah, right. You know what I mean? I just don't care. I just don't care at this point. But um, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it all unfolds, obviously, and hopefully, honestly, hopefully the deal doesn't happen. I'd rather see it, rather see them be separate entities, and we just continue on with our lives at that point. But um, speaking of some gaming stuff, The Last of Us has been chugging along, man. We're already 7 episodes in, only two left.
Only two left.
Only two
Yeah, I
left
didn't
at this
realize there
point.
were only like 9 episodes, but it makes sense where they're at in the story.
Yeah. Um, past couple episodes, man, they've been good. This last one, let me rephrase. The last 2 episodes prior to this one, probably the best in the season so far.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
So the
What was five
episode.
again?
So okay, wait, I'm trying to remember by number. 5 was Henry and Sam.
Yeah, that episode was crazy good.
Crazy good. Probably the best of the series so far.
Yeah, definitely up there.
6 was them in Montana.
Yep, making it to Tommy. Yeah,
Right, it's making it to
also very
Tommy.
good. Yeah,
Yeah, also a really really good episode. And then this last one was DLC content, which
yeah,
I thought
Left
was
Behind.
interesting. Yeah, which I thought was really interesting. Um,
I guess it's the most. It makes most sense to put it there though.
does
Um,
it?
I mean, I
Because
think so.
that's what I was gonna ask you. Like, does it really? Like, I almost feel like it should have been maybe like an episode or two earlier.
Um, I'm trying to think.
Because like I think it's needed, right? Like it was a much needed episode, especially for those who haven't played the game, don't know the story, don't know the background of Ellie and stuff like that. Um, I think it was a really good episode to have. And as a whole, it was a good episode. It was probably my least favorite episode, truthfully, so far. But as a whole,
Really?
was yeah, it honestly was. And the reason why is because the past 2 episodes prior to that, hell, even episode 4 could be thrown in there. Um, those episodes really started to, that was obviously the part of the story to where you see the connection and the bond between Joel and Ellie.
Hmm.
And obviously with the way episode 6 ends, where, spoilers, sorry, where, Joel is, he gets stabbed. Um, you know, for it to just this episode to then decide to just jump back in time before all this happens. And then obviously at the very end of the episode, she's taking care of him. I don't know. To me, it almost took away from the bond between Joel and Ellie a little bit. Obviously, it's going to pick right back up, no problem. But then it makes me fear that it's going to rush these next two episodes.
I think. Oh, I don't think it'll be rushed. There's not that much content left in the game. Um, I think it was good because it shows because Joel was telling Ellie to abandon him.
Yeah,
Um, but with her flashback, um, it showed that she like wouldn't want to abandon like the last person that she gives a shit about per se.
right, right,
And having it fresh right there, I think just shows it better. Because yeah, they could have did it like I guess right after episode 5. They could have made episode 6 this, and then had episode 7 be where they meet Tommy, and then have episode or maybe did I do one too many? Whatever. Have it after the Sam death.
right.
Um, do it after that, the episode after that. But
I
I think
like
having
that's
it
what I'm
now,
thinking. Like I think it would have made a little bit better sense. Like I get the point of how they did it. And I
yeah,
still think that was well done. I don't know, man. I think it almost takes away from the moment of the ending of episode 6 a little bit. Um and it's just like this is such a pivotal part of the story. I mean, I say pivotal, but it's such a big part of the story of, again, just that bond and connection between Joel and Ellie. And like I almost feel like we're taking a not a medium step backwards in terms of, again, that trying to emphasize that bond and connection, which is what makes the story so great. It is that connection that they make with each other along the way.
yeah. I mean, I see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it was fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I still think it was a great episode. It was still well done. It matched a lot of stuff from the game. Um,
Yeah, it's perfect, basically.
yeah, really, really good. Which I'm glad you agree, because a lot of the internet is, first off, it's annoying, but second, a lot of the internet is saying, nope, the show's stupid. I won't watch it because it's not the game. It's not a spit for spit take. It's not just a complete copy of the game, um and all that stuff, to where like I feel like this is so well done. Like it still has its slightly own take in a Hollywood kind of sense, like it has to, while still taking all the key elements of the game and not really, changing them all that much, except for obviously episode 3, but um which you could definitely argue wasn't even really that key, in the story of it all. But
Yeah, I don't mind. I don't know what people are really like bitching about online. I'm not sure
yeah, I
if
don't
it's
get it.
just not if it's just not 100% to the game, which
Yeah,
whatever. I mean, they have the right to bitch about that, I guess. But the only problem that I have with it is when they just change characters.
yeah,
That's the only thing. When they still
right,
have the character in it, but they just change how they are. That's why I didn't
right,
like episode 3 because I think they
right.
completely fucking flipped Bill's character, and I
Yep.
just didn't like it.
No, that's fair.
But even now, I could tell Joel's not the same character. Even Joel is different.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. I that's not as drastic though, so I don't mind it as much.
No.
But they are going for a completely different Joel
Hmm.
in this show. Like he's way more vulnerable. He has
Yeah.
panic attacks. He's more
Yeah.
worried about losing Ellie than I feel like Game Joel was, at least at the beginning.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's definitely different. But I mean, I don't hate the take. It's just because it's not like that drastic of a change. But with Bill, for example, like, dude, he's giggling eating berries. Like, bro, that's not like, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, that's just
Right.
not Bill.
That's
I
yeah.
mean,
No, not at all. Not at all. Yeah, I don't. Although, I mean, maybe it was Bill. Right? We don't know because obviously we meet Bill after Frank has killed himself in the game. To where
yeah, but I
like
mean, think about
at
it though.
that
Like,
point you're like,
why
yeah,
did
I'd
Frank
probably be
leave?
pretty fucking
Why
miserable
did Frank
too.
leave though?
Well,
You know
they
what I'm
got in
saying?
the fight, right?
I mean, he's leaving over one fight.
I mean, probably not over just one fight. I'm sure it's probably multiple at that point, but
The game like insinuated that Bill was like miserable.
right, yeah, the game did kind of insinuate that Bill was not exactly the most fun person to be around.
Yeah, he was very stubborn.
Yeah,
Didn't want change. Yeah, it definitely did not.
yeah,
I don't think Game Bill would have did a fucking dual suicide out of love. I don't think he would have done that. You know what I mean?
yeah. Probably not. Probably not. Probably not.
I think he was very much like a survivor and like would have done whatever to live.
Yeah, yeah. No, absolutely. Um, yeah. I mean, I don't know. As a whole, I mean, I still think the show's incredible. Like I'm loving every moment of it.
I like the show, man. I like the show a lot.
Yeah, it's so good. I think these last two episodes are man, they're gonna be great, man. They're gonna be
I mean,
great.
they're super pivotal. I mean, these two episodes
Yeah,
are like what everything's built up for.
yeah,
So
yeah. They're huge.
I really hope they don't fuck it up. That's
Yeah, but dude, I'm thinking that this entire time. Like, I'm
really
really
hope they don't fuck it up,
hoping that like we don't
especially
get to
episode
like the
nine.
right. Like, I'm really hoping like we don't get to this last episode and just out of nowhere they just change the ending completely or some shit. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah, no one wants that.
yeah,
No one fucking wants that.
yeah. That so I'm wholeheartedly 100% in agreement with you there. And yeah, man, we'll see, man. We'll see what happens. Time will tell, man.
So
You know, just a few days away from episode 8. So
very true. Very true.
yeah, should be good. It should be exciting.
Should be good.
I'm oh, I can't wait. Can't wait. Um but anyway, um onto some sports news, man. Onto the NFL. Um we we didn't get to do our recap of the Super Bowl, and to save spare you from pain, we're not going to. But it's what's crazy?
Yeah.
My team, the New England Patriots, and the Philadelphia Eagles, they won the same amount of Super Bowls this year.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, crazy
Damn.
stat.
Okay, now do how many Super Bowl appearances?
Yeah, I mean that's true. That's true. I'll give you that.
Now do QBs that are actually fucking decent.
Okay. That's fair. That is fair. I mean, now
do coaches who aren't completely chalked.
I was gonna say, okay, no, stop. You just stop. I mean, now that the Pats actually have a fucking offensive coordinator, I mean, who knows? Maybe there's a chance.
Can't get any worse.
Yeah, maybe there's a fucking chance. Jesus Christ. But anywho, fast forward, a couple weeks, and today started the NFL Combine. With the defensive linemen and your linebackers being showcased and represented. I think it's actually still going on. Man, and I know you said you haven't watched any of it, or checked anything out, but brother, some of these guys are just insane, like just freakish athletes. Georgia's Nolan Smith ran a 4.39 40-yard dash.
Mm-hmm.
This dude is a defensive lineman and is running like wide receiver 40-yard dashes.
Yeah, I mean, there's always like a few D linemen that are just insane freaks, though.
Yeah. But it is the second fastest by a defensive lineman since 2003. Obviously, first fastest was last year's combine.
Hmm.
I can't remember who it was, but they set the record for the 40-yard dash. Um, yeah, like just absolutely nuts. I mean, another thing too, that I kind of feel bad for. The guys that are holding the bags in some of these drills, man. These linemen and linebackers are hitting these bags so hard, man. Like the guys holding them are 1,000% going to be in concussion protocol.
Oh, 100%.
Like they are hitting these bags so hard. Um, yeah,
Yep.
it's fucking crazy, dude.
How much do you
Like
think they're paid
that's a good question, actually.
to hold a
Uh,
bag? They probably do more than that, though. You know.
Oh god, yeah. Like I'm sure these are guys that just probably work for the league in general, or honestly, they're probably even assistants at like various teams, and they're just helping out at the combine.
Helping at the combine, yeah.
You figure the combine's in Indy, so maybe they're even assistants that just work for the Colts.
Hmm.
Um, wouldn't be shocked by that.
Yeah, true.
Um, but yeah, I mean, just a crazy day one of the combine, honestly, between Nolan Smith, who just kind of lit up the charts all around, not even just his 40-yard dash, but his vertical was a 41.5-inch vertical.
Raising that draft stock.
That's right. That's right. Um, yeah, I mean, just as a whole, just a crazy day. Kalijah Cansey, the defensive lineman from Pitt,
Hmm.
had an impressive day as well. He was getting a lot of comparisons to Aaron Donald, which that's
Really?
yeah, that's a good comparison to have, to say the least. Um, but yeah, man. I mean, as a whole, some solid guys. I wouldn't be shocked if I mean, I know it's the combine, right? There's a lot of times there's guys who show up and show out at the combine, and they end up you know they end up putting together these insane days, right? These crazy days at the combine, and they get a lot of hype because of it. I mean, DK Metcalf being a really good example. Just a few years ago. Um, but I wouldn't be shocked if a lot of these defensive linemen end up going like really high in this year's draft. I feel like there's a lot of really good talent on you know on that part of the ball.
Oh well, some will definitely like rise up the draft boards. I mean, did you see the whole thing with Jalen Carter?
I did,
Yeah, so he's gonna fall probably,
yeah,
and then others will
um,
get picked ahead of him now.
yeah. That's a good. So Jalen Carter. I mean, do you even draft him?
Oh yeah, he's way too good not to.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, unless you really think he's gonna go to jail, obviously then you don't. But
I mean, there's a possibility.
there's definitely the possibility. But I
There's
mean,
definitely a possibility.
dude, even I mean, it's gonna depend on what type of team you want, really, like what your image, what image you care about. But I mean, at the end of the day, dude, this guy's like, I mean, he deserves to go one overall by talent,
Yeah,
and he didn't. It's not like he killed someone. I mean, he kind of left the scene, but I mean, he wasn't the cause of the death, so it's like I don't know, man. It's weird, but even if he goes to jail for like a year or 2 years, I think you still draft him. He's so fucking good. He's so talented.
yeah. I mean, he is, but like I mean, he you could definitely kind of argue that he was the cause of the death because I mean it was reckless driving, right? Like, um,
I mean, it was a Georgia employee who was driving the other vehicle, and she was drunk. So
which like again, shame there as well. Um,
he was
but
supposedly racing them, I guess,
right,
and then she
right,
crashed.
right.
So I mean, you could argue, I guess it could have been his fault, but I definitely feel like her being drunk driving is probably more to blame.
Sure, sure. No, I mean you definitely shouldn't drink and drive. There's no question of that. Um, but I mean stuff like that also shows character, right? Like it also shows like the kind of person you're going to be. And I mean he's young, right? I mean like let's be real. He's younger than us, right?
Yep.
And obviously a lot of spotlight being put onto him and stuff like that, and that's tough to kind of try to adjust to at that kind of age. And
Hmm.
yeah, it's one of those things to where I think you kind of, if you're an NFL GM, like it's almost one of those things to where like you kind of gotta wonder, like, I mean, if he's doing this now, like, will that ever change? You know what I mean? Is he gonna ever like? What is it gonna take, right? Like, because now you're gonna get into the NFL, especially if you're taking that like number one overall, like a lot of people were, potentially predicting. Um, you know, what what do you do, right? Like you're taking at that position or at that pick rather, you're gonna get a decent contract coming in right away. And you're surrounded by all these guys to where, some of them got some pretty big egos. They like to flash the money, right? They like to flash the checks and live this very luxurious lifestyle to
Hmm.
where, there's gotta be, some you gotta be able to resist some of those temptations sometimes of staying in your lane and staying focused and stuff like that. And I mean, can he do that if this is the behavior, he's showcasing? So like as a GM, you have to really kind of sit there and think, like, do you really want to take a chance on that? Um, and and who knows where it goes from there, obviously, right? Like who knows whatever else he gets into as far as trouble goes.
Um. Yeah. I mean, he's at the combine now doing interviews. I mean,
Right.
obviously it's gonna depend on like how he talks to GMs and stuff, but
Right.
I'm just telling you, dude, he's just way too good not to draft.
It's fair.
So someone will give him a chance.
Yeah.
Some team will give him a chance. There's probably multiple teams that will give him a chance, and
Yeah.
I'd be willing to put money down. He'll still be a first round pick.
I think he falls outside the first. I think maybe second. I think maybe second. Um so I think most teams are gonna sit there and look and they're gonna go, okay, we can probably get somebody else here in the first now that like we really wanted.
Mm.
And if he falls to us in the second, we'll take him in the second. Um,
I mean, there's definitely some that will be thinking that, yeah. But
yeah,
bro, I'm sorry, like these teams in like the 20s and 30s, they could land Jalen Carter. I mean, bro,
yeah, that's true. That's
best
true.
player available, man.
Yeah. Um, saw a report that the Bears are likely to trade out of the first pick.
Yeah, it makes
Um,
sense. I think we all expected that.
yep, yep. Not really too surprised by that. Curious to see what they'll get for it,
Hmm.
if and when that happens, and who decides to trade up to it. Um, there hasn't really been any reports on any of that, so um, yeah, I'm very curious to see how that all shakes out. It'll definitely make for a very interesting NFL draft at that point. That's for sure. But
Yeah, Bears will trade out, and then who else was saying? Cardinals, I think, are trying to trade out,
yep, Cardinals. I
and
wouldn't be shocked if Carolina trades up. Um
oh yeah, I saw a report that they're like really in on that Florida QB
um uh I'm blanking on names. Stroud, right?
Richardson.
Or no, yeah.
Yeah.
Um
Um.
they like him. Although Josh McCown, who's their new QB coach, really likes CJ Stroud.
I mean, they're gonna have to get up to two, just like him.
Yeah.
So they'll have
Um
to, and the Texans aren't going to move unless they move up.
No, no, yeah, no. Texans won't move. I mean, they could trade up to one. That's the thing.
Yeah, I mean Texans. Oh yeah, yeah, true. I mean Carolina can move up to one. It'll take a
Yeah.
lot though. Moving from what are they 6?
I thought they were a little bit lower. I thought they were like 9.
Oh, maybe it'll take a lot to move up.
Yeah. Let's see. Carolina Panthers draft pick. They are. Once this loads, yeah, they're the ninth pick.
Yeah, moving from 9 to 1 is like huge. That'll take a lot.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's a big one. It's a big one, but should be interesting. Should be interesting to see how it all unfolds. I'm excited to see the rest of the combine, see how some of the skill position players do.
Yeah,
Um,
I want to see corners really bad.
yeah. I do want to see the QBs. I want to see who shows up because I mean, a lot of people were saying this is a pretty solid QB class. So, um, I'm intrigued, curious.
I think it could be. Who's that guy next year that everyone's talking about? Caleb or some shit?
Uh, the guy from USC, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
he
his
just
name's
won the
Caleb.
Heisman. He just won the Heisman. The fuck's his name? I'm horrible with names. Caleb Williams, right? Is that it?
Yeah, that's what I think. I think
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
Caleb
yeah,
Williams.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's solid, man. He is
And
a very
then
very good talent.
if you play the really long one, I think it's either 2025 or 2026. You get who is it? Fucking Manning. What's his name?
Uh,
Arch Manning.
is it Archie?
Archie Manning. I
Yeah,
think. Yeah.
Archie Manning. Yeah,
Supposedly he's very good. So
yeah. I mean, I've seen some of his highlights and stuff. Like he's talented. He's definitely talented. There's apparently another guy though, like him and another QB that is also like a top recruit went up against each other in in a game, and like that other guy or other kid, he like outperformed Archie by like quite a bit. Which I mean,
yeah.
you're only as good as your last game. I can't remember his name unfortunately, but
Huh.
yeah, apparently they are saying as a whole though, like that QB class, when it comes time for Archie to get drafted,
Yeah.
apparently that QB class will actually be really, really strong. So, um, man,
Well, yeah, you get like
it'll be interesting.
random classes like that where you can get like five potential QBs in the first round.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah, yeah. It's it's funny how that works. Like I feel like every year, I feel like it's just a cycle, right? Like every year, I mean, there's always the consistent ones, right? Like pretty much any lineman is always like every year you're gonna get a good lineman.
Yeah,
Um,
true. Yeah, there's always a really good defensive lineman.
whether it be defense or even offense. Every once in a while, like every couple of years, you'll get that offensive lineman who's going to be like a no doubt Hall of Famer down the road.
Yeah, yeah, he's always top five pick. Yeah,
Yeah.
always.
Um,
Like this guy, you just can't miss on him, dude.
yeah, right. But like you'll have one year you'll have the QBs, the next year's will be the running backs, next year will be the receivers, next year's will be the linebackers, and then it's just right back to the QBs again. Like, dude, it's just a nonstop cycle, like just every year.
Yep.
It's funny how that works. But
That was a
did
bit
you
of my class.
did you see that Pat McAfee is being sued by Brett Favre?
I did see that actually. Yeah,
I saw Pat's like response to
for
it. And
slander, right? Or isn't that what he sued
yeah,
him
for
with?
yeah, defamation of character and slander. And I saw Pat's response to it, and it was the funniest shit I've ever seen. um, because I mean it was just Pat being Pat, which is great. And for any football fan out there, like you gotta listen to his show because it is so good. Um, but yeah, I mean Pat, like to summarize for those who don't know what we're talking about. Brett Favre, obviously the ongoing stuff to where he supposedly like what was it, like he scammed like the Louisiana like welfare or some shit.
Like that, yeah.
um, something along those lines. I got to be careful what I say because next thing you know, I'm gonna get hit with the with the lawsuit.
Yeah, right. I'm not trying to get sued, bro.
Yeah.
Brett Favre is one of the greatest QBs ever play. That's all I
Yes,
know.
which is
That is
true. That
all
is
I know.
actually true. He is definitely one of the greatest QBs to ever play. Um, but yeah, it was something along those lines, and so he's obviously he's in some legal trouble for it, and the Pat McAfee show has become more than just a like just a bunch of guys talking. It is at this point become a sports talk show, um,
Yeah,
and more specifically an NFL talk show, um, and has become a part of the NFL media, and
yeah,
so
like a first take or an undisputed.
yeah, exactly. And so like, he's doing his thing, right? Like he's reporting the news to us, as he's getting it and giving his take on it and all that stuff. And he did say that like the comments specifically that that is being pointed out and stuff, he owned up to it. He's like, "Yep, it was me. I did it. And I said it. It is what it is." So then he was originally he was asked to delete any of the content that mentioned pretty much anything about Brett Favre.
Jesus.
To which he said, "Yeah, I'm not doing that." Um, then they followed up and said that he was given a deadline to form an apology,
What the
and
hell?
he was gonna do it,
Yeah.
but then he forgot.
He forgot.
He literally it got past the deadline, and he literally just forgot all about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah. So he's going to court, and he was it was funny. He was asked. He's like, as far as like lawyers go, Favre's probably got all these lawyers in like New York and stuff like that. These big time lawyers. He's like, yeah, I ain't got any of that. So we're just gonna ride and we'll see how it goes.
I'll represent myself.
Yeah. Which made me laugh. God, I love Pat McAfee, man. He is he's
He's a
so
real
good.
dude.
He's so good, man. I love him. And good for him for everything he's doing too, between, obviously his talk show and then the stuff with WWE, and then even obviously College Football Game Day, being a part of that. Like, good for him, man. Good for him. He's awesome. I always loved him.
Yeah.
But oh, good stuff. Good stuff. Could you imagine getting sued by Brett Favre?
That'd be interesting.
I don't. I don't. I don't know what I would do.
Well,
Honestly, I have no idea.
I probably would have just apologized.
Yeah, right. I guess at that point, man, I'd fucking suck his dick if it meant not getting sued by Brett Favre.
True.
Jesus. God. But I guess different. We're sitting in a different seat, obviously. So
Yeah. I mean, dude, if I had a shit ton of money though, I'd probably have a different viewpoint on shit.
yeah, of course, right? Like that's
If I had the
always how
money
that
to pay
works.
him anyway, I'd be like, man, fuck off. I'm not apologizing.
Right. Yeah. No,
I
100%.
don't know how that's gonna turn out anyway though.
Yeah.
It's pretty hard to prove slander.
It really is. I think I saw it's not just Pat McAfee either. I think Shannon Sharp is also getting sued, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah. Which is interesting. But hey, we'll see what happens, man. See what happens, I guess.
Shannon's another real dude.
I like Shannon. I do. I like Shannon a lot. You gotta get him away from fucking Skip Bayless though. God, I fucking hate him.
I mean, he'll eventually get his own show, I think.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. But folks, that's gonna do it for this episode. Once again, shout out to W Energy. Please go to w.gg. Check out all their products. They have all kinds of stuff. Not even just the drinks. They also got shirts and hats and just clothing in general, stickers that you can buy. Be sure to use the link in right. Who doesn't love stickers? Be sure to use the link in the description down below, and be sure to also use the code KDL in checkout to get 10% off your order. So shout out to them as well. Again, be sure to follow us on all the socials between Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Subscribe on YouTube. Leave a like. Let us know in the comments what you think. All that fun stuff, and of course, check us out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts as well. But folks, appreciate it. Love y'all. As always, man, stay safe out there. Be kind to one another. Love one another. Adios. Peace out. Catch you guys next week.